They're very, very good guys, highly, highly talented, but
just like that, Jonathan Martinez ends it.
The astounding accomplished striker against the wrestler with heavy hands. Darren the Gorilla Till faces Derek Brunson in the main event of UFC Fight Night 191. And we here at Athlete Central are giving you the only fight card preview you need. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more card previews in the future, drop a like on the video. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the preview. This card was supposed to take place in London, England, but COVID-19 regulations in the country forced the UFC to relocate it to the Apex in Las Vegas. As a result, several fighters got pulled from the stacked card due to visa issues. Magomed Ankalaev versus Volkan Oezdemir is rescheduled for UFC 267. Undefeated English prospect Lerone Murphy's off the card, and Saeed Nurmagomedov also cannot travel to the United States. Not even mentioning the fact that GUSTAFFSON versus Craig got scrapped because of an injury to Gus. Long story short, this entertaining fight card would have been even better if the original plans to have it take place in the UK went ahead. This is currently the bout order for this card, and as you can see, there's a lot of exciting matchups on the card. We will be highlighting a few exciting matchups as well as the ones that aren't getting the attention they deserve. Let's start off with the opening bout of the prelims, Jonathan Martinez versus Marcelo Rojo. The bantamweights clash in an exciting matchup that promises fireworks. Marcelo Pitbull Rojo is coming into his sophomore UFC appearance. In his debut, Rojo faced Charles Jourdain, who also features on this card. The Pitbull turned up on short notice at a higher weight class, featherweight, and put on a hell of a fight. Fans were outraged that it didn't win Fight of the Night. That's how entertaining it really was. Marcelo ended up getting knocked out in the third round, but he definitely left a good impression on fans, having Jourdain hurt throughout the fight and not shying away from the all-action pace that the Canadian brings. Rojo has a record of 16-7 with 14 of his 16 victories coming via finish. Jonathan Martinez is a more seasoned UFC fighter, being 4-3 in the organization, although he should be arguably 5-2, considering most members of the MMA media scored his split decision defeat against Andre Ewell at UFC 247 in his favor. Martinez is a very well-rounded fighter, and he has shown his diverse striking arsenal in the UFC, scoring both of his knockouts in the octagon coming due to knees. Martinez also uses really effective calf kicks and has a mean left hook, as shown in his victory over Thomas ALMEIDA. In his last bout, however, he got knocked out emphatically by Davey Grant, who turned the fight into fireworks with his unpredictable striking. That is something Rojo can emulate due to his reckless style and can really cause problems for Martinez. If the fight stays clean and technical, Martinez has the edge, but if the Pitbull can turn it into a dogfight, he has a very good chance of winning. Martinez is the slight favorite in the matchup, valued at -155 at the time of writing, Rojo being +135. Up next, we have another bantamweight matchup in the battle of two astounding grapplers, Welshman Jack Shore and Armenian Liudvik Sholinian. Let's talk about the debutant first.
Hi guys, my name is Liudvik.
Liudvik is a tough alumni who lost in the semifinals to season winner Ricky Tercios. A lot of fans are excited about the 31-year-old and grew to love his personality throughout the season of the reality show. Who was your favorite fighter on this season of The Ultimate Fighter? Let us know in the comments below. Sholinian is Ukraine's national wrestling champion. He overwhelms his opponents and makes them tired. The most impressive wins on his 9-1-1 record are against 7-1 Yuma Horiuchi and a current UFC fighter Vince Cachero. 3 of his wins have come by sub with a single KO TKO to his name. But the real intrigue in this matchup is how Liudvik will fare coming in on short notice against a fellow wrestler in 14-0 Jack Shore. As good as Sholinian is on the ground, Jack may be even better. He has 8 subs and 4 KOs, and his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu has allowed him to dominate throughout his stints with Cage Warriors and the UFC. The level of competition faced by Shore is way better than his Armenian counterparts. He's faced fighters with fairly impressive records on his way to securing the Cage Warriors bantamweight strap, followed up by 3 impressive wins in the UFC, with 2 finishes and a good performance against 9-1 Hunter Azure earlier this year. The betting line reflects this, as Shore is a 285 favorite over Sholinian, who was valued at 225. The battle between 2 brilliant grapplers should be a fun one. Unless it's a surprise like Usman versus Colby, don't expect too much stand-up in this bout. And as McGregor would say,
somebody's O has got to go.
Okay.
We move on to the main event of the evening, where UK standout Darren Till clashes with the resurgent Derek Brunson. A matchup that suits both sides perfectly. Brunson finally gets the big-name fight he's been calling for, and Till gets to fight higher up the rankings against the number 5 guy to move closer to a shot at the last style bender Israel Adesanya. Let's start off with Till. The Liverpudlian was touted as the next McGregor during his rise to stardom in the UFC, given his large following in his hometown and his eccentric personality outside the cage. Things haven't worked out that well for the striker though, because after his win over Cowboy, the UFC pushed Till to fight Wonderboy, where he got a very controversial decision victory that many saw as a robbery. Darren went on to get choked out by TYRON Woodley in his first title fight, got KO'd by Jorge Masvidal, outpointed KELVIN Gastelum in a decision win, and lost to Robert Whittaker in a very close fight. He's currently 18-3-1, and due to his star power, Israel Adesanya is actually very interested in fighting him. A victory here for Darren Till could mean he is 1 win away from the title, and in our opinion, the winner of this fight should fight Jared Cannonier for the next title shot after Robert Whittaker. Till's dance partner Derek Brunson is on a 4-fight winning streak, derailing hype trains left and right. First, he beat 16-2 Elias Theodoro, followed up by victories over Ian Heinisch and Edmund Shabazian, who had a combined record of 24-1 before facing Brunson and were believed to be the future of the division. His latest victory came in March of this year when he snapped Kevin Holland's 5-fight win streak in dominating fashion. This fight is a classic wrestler vs. striker match. Brunson does possess power, but after moving to Sanford MMA, Henry Hooft has made sure he uses his wrestling more and doesn't gas himself out trying for the KO. At the same time, Brunson does have a suspect chin. He got rocked a couple of times against Kevin Holland, and 5 of his 7 career losses have come by KO TKO. Darren Till can definitely expose that with his extensive background in Muay Thai, but Brunson's wrestling may be a problem, because it is definitely not Till's strong point. The only time Till faced a high-level wrestler was in his loss to TYRON Woodley, where he succumbed to a Darce choke in the 2nd round. The winner of this fight is probably 1 win away from a title shot, and it's a tough one to call. Definitely one of the better fight night main events. Till is valued at -170 for the fight, with Brunson being the slight underdog at +135. Let's briefly run over some other entertaining matchups. Charles Air Jourdain versus Julian Erosa should be an explosive fight. Both fighters have spectacular finishes to their name, and their fights never disappoint. Jourdain's victory is valued at -160, while Erosa is at a +135, maybe due to a short notice call-up. Moving on to the main card, Paddy Pimblett versus Luigi Vendramini is a matchup to look forward to. Vendramini was touted as a hot prospect due to all his victories coming by submission, but his hype has recently been derailed thanks to 2 recent losses. Paddy Pimblett makes his UFC debut, and there's a lot of hype around the young Englishman. He's from Liverpool, like Till, and his brash personality divides opinions among the masses. He's made some insensitive comments about Georgia, and his recent feud with MMA Twitter's favorite journalist Marcel Dorf has caused a lot of people to turn against him. Paddy's 3-2 in his last 5 fights, and considering Cage Warriors isn't exactly an elite promotion, he might have a tough time assimilating into the UFC, which is why his -135 is actually quite surprising. +115 for Vendramini, although risky, seems valuable. Sergey Spivak versus Tom Aspinall is another fight we look forward to, with records of 13-2 and 10-2 respectively. This should be a great fight. Spivak is a very dominant wrestler with good hands, while Tom Aspinall is actually the BJJ instructor at his gym and also possesses very good stand-up. Should be a great fight and pave the way to a top 10 opponent for the winner. The Moldovan is valued at +240. Aspinall seems to be the clear favorite according to the bookies at -280. Well, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. Let us know in the comments which fight you look forward to the most. Until next time.